Welcome back to my YouTube channel Prakashika. Let's continue with programming in C placement question sessions. So today I've got you a coding snippet in C programming language on the topic local and global variable. We will assume a 32-bit compiler, that is if we have an integer declaration it takes 4 bytes, and we assume that header files are declared wherever necessary. We don't have to explicitly mention in the code. That is what the assumptions that has been given. This is the coding question that was asked in Phillips, and the code goes like this: void main, then we have declared a variable x20, then again open the braces, declare variable x and f and initialize with 10 and 15, add x with f to update x and print that x, come out of the braces and print x and print f in integer format. The options are compiler time error, runtime error, 25, 20, 15, 25, 25 and 15. So we are demonstrating the concept of local and global variables here. So here the first line is int x is equal to 20. You might think the answer is compile time error because there is no hash include stdio.h and we are using the printf statement. The answer is compile time error for sure, but it is not because of the declaration of the answer is this one for sure, but it is not because of not using hash include stdio.h when we are using printf, because it is already given here that we have to assume the necessary header files wherever necessary. So though in this code I had written hash include stdio.h, I would still get compile time error. Even if I had added a line here, line here on hash include stdio.h, I would still get compile time error, but it is given here that we have to assume. So x is equal to 20. Okay, this is one variable. Now I'm opening the parenthesis. This means this block of code will be executed in a separate stack frame. This is one local variable, okay, x, and this is one more local variable x, but this is in stack frame 1 and this is stack frame 2. So anything outside this braces will be in stack frame 1, inside this braces will be in stack frame 2. We are not getting compiler error, not even because of redeclaration. That is, if we go down here, let me take a page and explain. I have int x is equal to 20. Now next again if I write int x is equal to say 15, I will get a redeclaration error. But here it is not the redeclaration error. Why? Because if you see the code, here we have put a braces, so this is separate, this x is separate, this x is separate. So here the answer is compile time error, not because we have include stdio.h or redeclaration of the variable x of same data type int, because they are in separate stack frame and they separate at local variable. This is local variable 2. Now what happens? Int x is equal to 20. So we have the memory here. So how is the RAM organized? So RAM is usually organized something like this. We have the code memory, then we have the data segment. This is where all the global variables go. Then we have stack and heap. So stack is mainly used for local variables. Stack and heap are overlapping, and stack usually grows downwards and heap usually goes upwards. So usually memory, this is the RAM arrangement, this is the lower address, and if we go higher, this is the higher address. So some part is left for other reserved purpose. Stack, if you add a data, it will not be to the next higher address, instead it will be to the lower address. But heap, it is ulta and it is combined. This is how RAM is organized. Now you have a stack. Let me take a stack here. Assume this is our stack memory. Now some random place, so memory is organized as an array of rows and columns. So let me take this column. This is one stack frame. Okay, so here at some address I have stored a variable x whose value is 20. Now when we open the braces and declare, there will be one more stack frame which will be somewhere random address will be taken. So there again one more x is declared whose value is 15, and then in the same stack frame variable f is also taken whose value is say 10. Okay, now sorry, x is actually 10 and variable is 15. One small correction. So now if I take this x value is not 20, it is 10, and f value is 15. So 10 plus 15 is how much? It is 25. So now this x, instead of 10 it becomes 25. So when I print x here, I get 25. I get 25. Now I come out of the loop. Okay, now for this braces, inside this, with respect to this braces, this x that we had with value 20 acted as a global variable, or we can say whenever there is a local variable and a global variable, more priority is given to local variable, because local variable 1 acted as what? Local variable 1 is like a global variable to local variable 2, and when there is a priority between local variable or global variable, local variable will be given more priority. Therefore x value of 10 was taken and not the value of 20. And one more reason you can analyze this is they both are in separate stack frames. Now when I come out of this stack frame is now destroyed after this line. It was created here, it exists only during this line, after that it is destroyed. Now if I print x, there is only one x in the stack frame variable in the memory, that is 20. So now what will happen? 20 will be printed. So here 20 will be printed. Now f, is there f here? There is no f. Okay, because f is already 15, f value was not updated, you don't get it as 15. F is already destroyed, that's why you get compile error. If this line was not there, the answer would have been 25 for the first x, for the next x it is 20, and if we had printed inside this one, it would have been still 15. So even if I comment this line or remove this line, you will still get the answer. It will not throw you compiler error. Now the compiler error is not because of redeclaration of x or not because hash include is not written. It is because f is destroyed outside this braces and no longer it exists in the memory. So when it tries to print the value of x, there is no x found, so it throws undefined variable. So what is the correct answer? Compiler time error. In this we saw that when there are two local variables, one acting as a global variable to the next one, local variable will be given more preference. Here error is not because of redeclaration error. If I didn't write this braces, then I would have definitely got the redeclaration. Compile time error because of redeclaration, and error is also not due to header file not being included, hash include stdio.h, because we are using printf. It is already given. Assume I write int x is equal to say 5, and again if I write int x is equal to 10, So here let me take index is equal to 1. This is redeclaration error, or even if I don't initialize and again if I write, it is redeclaration error. If I didn't have this braces, then it would have been compile time error because of redeclaration. So whenever local and global variables are there, preference is given to local variable. Here this x is 20 is acting like a global variable with respect to this x. Anyway, both are local variables itself. Both are local variables which are created in separate stack frames, but with respect to this x is acting like a global variable. Thank you.